70% win rate doesn't happen. Not for those type signals. You're going to have streaks of losers. You're going to have a random distribution of outcomes. Yeah? You're going to have 16 losers out of 20 sometime. And the problem is, it would be completely disingenuous for me to do it, and it would be unfair to students, because imagine there's a streak of good trades. You all understand that if there was a streak of 4 winners, that's just part of the distribution of outcomes, right? You would know that a loser's going to come eventually. But the problem is, if there's a streak of 4 winners and the chat's all lively and happy, and a new student has just started and hasn't gone through the lessons, or has just gone through them but is just getting their, just finding their feet in the university, and they see that, wow, like last 4 winners, like these signals, they think it's free money, and they put their entire portfolio on it, or half, or whatever, and it loses. That's the reality. And you could say, well, they deserve. It's like, no, they don't deserve to, because who's to know? Everyone joins at a different experience level. Some people join and think the professor's giving signals. Well, that's much better than me trading. Right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Logically. Why would you not listen to someone who's more experienced than you? But the whole point is that you learn nothing, and it's negative EV because you can't even follow the system the same way I do for 100 trades, And so all that time and effort and money that you put into the signals and following them and entering and exiting and watching the losers and watching the winners, you could just learn to trade. And the old analogy of fishermen teaching a man to fish rather than giving him fish. I don't take my morning coffee to make 100 push-ups. Very good. Some Cobra. Also, thanks for everything. Been here for almost a year now. Very good. Had to make some tough choices at the beginning of this year, so I've been dedicating my life to this since January. Very good, Spagnolo. I guess your first name's actually Alessio, right? It's just spelled back, or you're not spelled backwards, but you've surname first. Now it's time to change. I will show up in charts, put myself out there, and finally change. I've always been laid back, never put myself out there. Yeah, good. Definitely good to put yourself out there. Now it's time to change. Good. I will find you under Alagon in the chats. Good man. I expect to see you active in the chats every day. Adam, 10k a day. Whatever is. Let's say this. Let's put it this way. Whatever you make in a day currently, focus on getting to 10x of that first. Yeah. If you make $100 a day, focus on getting to $1,000 a day. It's from wherever you're at to wherever you. It's from wherever you're at to wherever you want to get to. Yeah, because how do you go? How do you go from the 1k to 10k that I mentioned, and the 10k to 100k, and the 100k to a million? How do you go to that? Well, you 10x your daily income, don't you? Now, going from 1k to 10k is much easier. Going from 10k to 100k is more difficult. Going from 100k to a million is probably actually easier than 10k to 100. But depends on how you do it, of course. You really are a father, Big Brother, a lot of us. Great to hear that. Really happy to hear that. That is how I want to be. Big brother more than father. Not that old. Right now, it seems to work out the Bitcoin signal from analysis, but the volumes are not good enough from my analysis. Phase B, I don't know which one you're talking about exactly. Or maybe it was just the general view that I had, that Bitcoin was going to pull back. Which I think so. Yeah. Oh, maybe you mean from daily levels? And then, oh yeah, sorry, I mentioned. Sorry. My head's gone. But yeah, I was saying this morning that I think this is going to roll over and go all the way back down. Looks like it's probably going to do that. We're in a bit of a downtrend here. If this 15-minute closes down below there. On the hourly, we're in a downtrend. Volume's picking up as well. Volume rising. Yeah. Market's still pretty slow, though. Follow position sizing without stop loss and it works. It's hard to make big profits, but I do have peace of mind because I only do 1% of the portfolio, says Alice. I don't know why you don't use stops. I don't know why you don't use stops. You should always use stop losses, but if you're doing 1% of your portfolio, maybe it's a a spot only. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. If you do backtesting your systems, it has to be Bitcoin. Nope. It can be anything. Your backtesting begins with a theory or a thought. Right? So your theory, your thesis, could be about a specific coin. It could be about Ethereum specifically. Maybe you noticed a pattern in Ethereum, or you noticed a pattern in Litecoin, or you noticed a pattern in Solana. And that doesn't mean a pattern. That's not a chart pattern. That's a pattern of behavior. Let's say you notice that for some reason Solana seems to dump every Sunday evening. For the past 4 weeks, Solana has had a 2 or 3% down move on a Sunday evening. Right? That would be just something you've noticed. That's not something you should ever trade off. That's your signal to go backtest. You say, all right, I've noticed the past 4 weeks that regardless of what the market's doing, Solana has dropped on a Sunday evening. I'm not saying this is true, by the way. I'm just making this up. Now I want to take and test my thesis. So I'm going to look at the last 100 Sunday evenings, so the last 2 years of price action. I'm going to look at how many times does Solana drop 2% or more between 6 p.m. UTC and midnight, right? That's quantifiable. You can go test that. Then I want to compare that against the market, against Bitcoin, to see, does Solana even go down if Bitcoin's gone up, or is it correlated or decorrelated? Is there a reason for it? Because there could be some reason. You never know. There could be some VC investor who actually has an automatic sell order that goes in every Sunday at a certain time. This wouldn't really make sense because it's an extremely inefficient way to do it. But you never know. People are dumb. People are definitely dumb. So I'm running out of time a little bit because of a lot of stuff that I'm doing after this. I've got new lessons to record, so I'm going to be... You've seen what I've posted today so far. We've done daily levels. So I'm going through my own to-do list here. Done daily levels. I have fixed the broken lessons. Risk management, fixed. Cause and effect, fixed. For anyone who saw those, you saw some little Easter eggs where I had unedited videos. That was I think they were 2 lessons that are with my editor. And I actually think they've been done now. My Top G editor has edited them. But I was uploading the raws, obviously, so you guys could see the lessons. But they are fixed, and they're on the Learning Center. I also added a new lesson, the 8 things that I wish I had have known when I started trading. I hope everyone's watched that. The 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading. Wouldn't everybody love to know that? That's like me condensing my entire knowledge into 8 things, right? If there was 8 things I could have wished that I knew when I started. Here it is. 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading. I suggest everybody watches that. And then, we've jumped into the wrong campus there. The 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading is very important, because if you see that and you understand, fuck it, why not? I'll do this. Psychology and mindset, trader's mindset, 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading. Open it up. Sorry, I'm on the wrong fucking window. I was looking at my other screen. So, psychology and mindset. Trader's mindset. 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading. And then we hit play. Mute it. There we go. And if I open this up large, these are the 8 things I wish I knew when I started trading. So you're all actually going to get a little bit of a run through of it with commentary from me. Now, of course, watch the lesson. Some facts I wish I knew when I started. So when you read these things, please, if you don't understand it or if you want clarification, come and ask me in the chats. But all of these things, if you truly understand them, they can change your life, your trading life. Your average winner should be smaller than you think. Extremely important. Whenever I first started trading, like most of you, I tried to swing for the fences. I tried to get big winners. Boom. If you understand that that comes from a lack of self-belief, you will not do it anymore, right? The only reason you feel like you need to hit it big on each trade is because you don't trust your system. If you had a system that paid you out $1.20 for every dollar you put in, but it had positive expectancy and it won 90% of the time, you would just keep doing that over and over again, right? Wouldn't you? Would you care about getting 10-1 winners if you could get 1.2 for every dollar you risk, but you win 9 times out of 10? You just keep hitting those. You just keep hitting them. And over time, just print money. That is the actual infinite money glitch, right? So that's an extreme example to show you that you just lack trust in yourself and your system. How do you get trust? By going back to the basics and learning the art of trading. Not by trying to make money. Your win rate can be 50% or even less. The biggest single misconception I see with new traders is they do not understand win rate whatsoever. I don't blame them, because there's no reliable education, or very little reliable education about this online. Your win rate can be below 50%. And not only can it be, that's what pros do. 70% win rate, as an actual 70% win rate with more than 1.5 hour, risk reward, is extremely rare. And I'll do the thing I like to do, which is I'll go to my trade return calculator. If you ever want to estimate for yourself roughly whether a type of trading setup is realistic or not, plug it in here. So typical 2% risk, let's say 1.5% risk reward and a 70% win rate. You will see from the returns that this is extremely profitable, right? If you're getting multiple hundreds of %, that's a really profitable system. That's really profitable. And look at it, it never loses. Literally never will this go to zero. The numbers, the math, the statistics, the probabilities are on your side where you cannot lose. Why is that? Because you're managing your risk. So you have 2% risk. It would take 50 trades to go to zero, which isn't actually true because you're using 2%, so you would technically never go to zero. But even if you had a fixed $20 and you did $20 every time, it would still take you 50 trades to go to zero. With a 70% win rate, a streak of 50 losses is literally impossible. Yeah? It can't happen. So it's just a matter of how long can you keep clicking buttons until the positive expectancy takes over and you grow your money. Right, so that's an more extreme example. 70% win rate. I have barely seen anyone ever with that in a statistically significant series. I'm talking 8-figure pros, pro traders. If they can get 60%, they are absolutely printing. Right? Most swing traders, most pro swing traders have about 40% win rate. But they're getting at least 3-1 risk reward. And over time, look again, printing money. Literally every time. Never losing money, always making something, sometimes making more than others. This is what trading is. If you can figure out how to get something close to that and just be patient, over time, your wealth will compound. If you can learn this at the start and learn it cheap, then fast forward 3 years from now, when you've hustled and saved up 100k between a combination of trading profits and business and work and everything else and living frugally, which, by the way, there's no problem with. If you're at the start and you need to save money up, there's nothing wrong with cutting back expenses. You don't need to live like a baller if you don't have the money to. Delay gratification. Because look what happens when you plug it into this system. Massive. Huge. There's your 100 trades now getting you 390,000 of profit. More than you could easily more than you could spend in a year. There's up to 620,000. Yeah, so do you see why it doesn't sound like much, and that's why I did this. It doesn't sound like much when I plug it into 1,000, and you see that 1,000 has compounded into 4K. Like, a lot of students will look at that and be like, oh yeah, like, but that's 100 trades to get 1,000 into 4,000. Like, that's pretty shit. Like, I can't get rich that way. It's, it might take me 6 months to do 100 trades, and I can only turn my 1,000 into 4,000. I was like, exactly, yes. That's why you need to get money in from other sources as well. Be patient, but build that system. You can build that system for $20, right? You can get $50, put it into an account, use a few cents of risk or a few dollars of risk for every trade, so that over all the testing you do, you lose very, very little money. And if you can develop a system that has that positive edge, think about this, guys. You can be wrong 6 times out of 10 and print money. Print money from the sky. Being wrong more often than you're right. Being wrong more often than you're right. You can print money. The reason for that, and the big mistake that gets made, is if you are scalping or day trading, you cannot try and hit 3-to-1 every time. 3-to-1 risk reward. Scalpers and day traders need to be more accurate and take smaller chunks. So, because of the very nature of it, if I'm scalping actively, say I'm scalping and day trading, which is the same thing, as in you can do them both together. They're not the same style of trading, but if I'm day trading, I can also scalp within that. You understand? And I'm in a very active phase. I could take 5 trades a day easily. And I'd trade 5 days a week consistently. Sometimes trade weekends, but you have to say consistently I would trade 5 days a week. So 5 5s is 25. That allows me to do 100 trades in a month. Right? So if you were doing this method, and I was able to do 100 trades in a month, then you'd be making 183% per month, 571% per month, 91% per month. That's not realistic. I'm being very clear here. That's not realistic. You could do that on a month, but not consistently. Otherwise, within 12 months, you'd be the richest man on earth. Right? Because imagine this was month 1 and we go to 191,000. All right, let's plug that in to month 2. Now after month 2, we've got $500,000. Let's plug that in and see what happens after month 3. Oh, now we've got 1.8 mil. 3 months in. That's not bad. 100 grand to 1.8 mil in 3 months. Oh, wow. Now we've got nearly 10 mil after 4 months. I think you know where I'm going with this. By month 5, I've got $14 million from 100 grand. Not realistic, right? So what do you do? With your 1,000, let's go back to normal. Scalper's trying to get 1.3, right? And he's trying to have a 65% win rate. And there he's getting, maybe that's even that's a little bit ambitious. 139%, but I think some of these will be a bit lower. 162%, 139%. Probably still a little high. You could just go to a flat 1.0. 41%. There you go. Boom. 72%. 93%. 110%. Even that is extremely good performance. So, if I told you that you only have to get 1-to-1 risk reward, which, to be clear, when you load this up on the chart, and you're scalping on the 5-minute chart, and let's say this downtrend is broken here, right? Or sorry, this swing low has broken here. We've closed outside of it. And so I'd say, all right, there's a valid breakout short here. So I'm going to short, enter now. My stop will go above this swing high, and I have to get a 1-to-1. There's the move. That's all the move I need. I only need Bitcoin to drop down there. I just need a quick impulse move down to there, and I've made my 1-to-1. And I need to be right on those 65% of the time. I need to be right 65% of the time. And that would mean over a month, I could make anywhere from 44 to 130. There's 58%. 79%. These are returns that are achievable, certainly at the beginning. Smaller accounts are easier to grow like that because of the liquidity factor. But even that, and this is supposed to make you guys super enthusiastic. You should be like chomping at the bit. You should be so excited to build systems now when you realize how little you actually need to win. That's a 1-to-1 risk reward. So I've shown you how you can make money swing trading by being wrong 6 times out of 10. So that should right away abolish any idea in your head of ever being angry at a loser. Because you actually, to make that system work, you actually have to be wrong 6 times out of 10. And as long as you make 3-to-1 every time you win, you should be happy. Oh, another loser, great, brilliant. That just means I'm one step closer to the next winner, right? Or if you're scalping, day trading, you're trying to catch small moves, and even 65 is high, maybe 6, so you can be right 6 times out of 10. So the difference is that instead of trying to, in the other system where you're trying to catch this, right, which everyone here can see, that's going to be harder to do. Therefore, I'm going to be wrong more often, so I have to be right 4 times out of 10. Or I pull it into here and I try to be right 6 times out of 10, right? 60%. Watch this. 52%, 25%, 65%, 30%, 65%, right? And if that doesn't seem like much, remember the trade frequency. I'm trading full time. I can do 5 a day. I can do 25 a week. That means I can do 100 a month. And so I can take my balance. There's month 1, right? Now let's plug this in and let's do a full year of simulated trading. There's month 2. There's month 3. There's month 4. We're already at 10k. There's month 5. There's month 6. There's month 7. Right now, 7 months in, we're 22k. Month 8. 28. Month 9. 42. Month 10. Now, nothing scales like this, so I'll explain in a sec. Month 10 was 42. Month 11, 61. And month 12, 114. So you want 100x your money? You want 100x your $1,000? That's how you do it. All you need to do is take 1,200 trades over a year with 1 risk reward and a 60% win rate. Sounds easy? Probably not. You probably thought it'd be easier than that. You probably thought it'd be just 1 or 2 trades. But that's the way you do it. Now, of course, this is not 100% realistic. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you that the law of large numbers, if you understand it and you accept what I'm saying, if you understand what the law of large numbers means, you have unlocked one of the secrets to the universe. Someone mentioned it on yesterday's stream. The law of large numbers essentially is the same as compounding. And Einstein himself said that compound interest was the 8th wonder of the world. Winners compound. I say this over and over and over and over again, right? This is the secret. But to get there, you need to put in the work. That does not begin with starting to trade with real risk. You cannot start to do this until you've already got a proven system that can do this. So if you can be right 6 times out of 10 and get 1-to-1 risk reward from 100 back tests and then 50 to 100 forward tests with your dollar trading, then you can start to employ your 2% risk and actually scale it up. Then you're going to come into all the other things that go into trading: the commissions, the fees, the slippage, the stop losses, the sizing. So as your account grows, both the psychological aspect of watching your account grow plus the trades you can't take because you're putting on too much size, right? It's not the same when you're in your final stretch here in month 12. if you're risking $1,500 per trade, every trade like you see here, $2,200, that's not the same as when you're at the start and you're risking $20. You have to find different assets. Not every time will you be able to trade Bitcoin that size. It'll take slippage, etc., etc., etc. The point is, the win-loss and the risk-reward, and to cut a very, very, very long story short, back to here, your average winner can be smaller than you think, and your win rate can be less than you think. This should be the music to everyone's ears. I'm giving you permission to lose. Which is, it sounds funny, but it's true. I'm giving you permission to lose. Because you need to lose. It's essential. No trader ever goes 100%. The sooner you learn how to lose, the better. And that leads me nicely into something I call the perfect loser. You might have seen me teasing it. It's one of the 2 challenges coming up. It's one of the ways you may gain entry to the Masterclass campus. And what it is, for anyone watching, I'm not going to show exactly how to do it or what it is right now, but I will explain what it is and the concept behind it. So, there was a study done, and I'm sure people have heard this before. If you've ever researched visualization, you'll know that there was a study done using basketball players where they had 3 sets. They had one set of players who practiced free throws. They had another set of players who visualized practicing free throws. So they closed their eyes for a certain amount of time every day and visualized themselves free throwing, so not actually doing it. And a third set who did nothing. They were like the control set. And the guys who didn't even practice outperformed the guys who did nothing. Right? And I believe they were extremely close to the guys who physically practiced. The point of this is to show that visualization is extremely powerful. Now I'm going to flip that on its head to turn you into good losers. The reason you can't take a loss is because you don't take a loss. You get emotional about it because there's too much money on the line, and you cower up. I'm not saying you're a coward. You cower in fear because you see price moving towards your stop loss. You don't want to feel that pain. Maybe you close the app or you close the website. You get the notification. You got stopped out. You're like, oh, fuck it. All right, fine, whatever. On to the next one. On to the next one. It's the wrong way of doing it. So the right way is to take a trade with your normal size, 2% of your portfolio. This is the only time throughout the lessons where I'll allow you to trade with your normal size. And take 2%. Don't fucking risk your whole portfolio, because the idea of this is that you lose. But you take a normal trade per your system and you wait. Maybe you win 1, maybe you win 2. Eventually you're going to have a loser. But what you're going to have done is you're going to have video recorded, screen recorded yourself trading. And you're going to watch as you lose a trade. You're going to watch it in real time. You're going to note down how you feel in real time. Watching a real trade lose with real money on the line. You're going to note down your emotions, what you felt like doing, and just how the overall experience was. You are then going to take the recording of that and replay it 10 times. And watch over and over and over again as price goes to your stop loss on that trade that you had set up, not just a trade you aped into, a trade you had planned, prepared, and set up. A trade that you thought was great, was really good. And you're going to watch it over and over and over again. And you're going to get reps. You're going to visualize the feeling of losing. This is the only time along your journey at which it's okay to do something that would seem negative, right? You should have a positive mindset as a trader. You should not be deluded as a trader. Losses are absolutely essential and they are going to happen. You need them to prove the profitability of your system. And losses are not just essential, they're inevitable. So, why not lose cheap? You take one real loss, you rewatch it over and over and over again. And if this seems silly, it's not. I've done this. Many, many people I know have done this. This is a superpower. This is a hack. Because what you're watching is real time. Like, you're actually watching yourself in real time. Like you're watching in the past, sorry, but in real time, you're feeling the emotion. You're not watching me lose a trade. You're watching yourself lose a trade. So you remember that feeling. You remember setting it up. As it comes down towards the stop loss, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, obviously you know what's going to happen. And you're like, I remember feeling pain here. I remember feeling like moving my stop loss here. I remember feeling like doubling down here. I remember feeling like, all the emotions. Relive them, relive them, relive them, relive them. It's called immersion therapy, is how a lot of times people get over things. You might have heard the people who are afraid of flying. There's a type of therapy where they force them to fly until they become okay with it. This is the same thing. We're throwing you in at the deep end. Because what you'll realize is that over time, you'll watch it 8, 9, 10 times. And then when you're watching it the 10th time, you'll look back and you'll be like, actually, you'll start to notice things. You'll start to notice, well, no, the market just moved the way it moved. It hit a stop loss. Fine. But if I'm going to be profitable as a trader, I'm going to have probably 6 out of 10 of those, or 5 out of 10 of those. And if I'm really good, I'll have 4 out of 10 of those hitting my stop loss. So you'll realize, oh, it's actually not so bad. Michael said that to get a profitable system, I have to take 100 trades. If a profitable system for me is 55%, that's 45 losers in 100. If I'm going to take 45 losers in the next 3 months by taking 100 trades, I better fucking get used to the feeling of losing, right?